Hello, I am Becca Rue. You are watching Rue's Musings. Today's musing is called Let It Be Awkward. And my entry point into this musing is to tell you a hilarious story from my past. And my friends in college, this is a story from college, and my girlfriend came up with this idea to have a party called the Pantsless Formal. So the idea is you check your pants at the door. Formal wear on top, check your pants at the door. And I thought this was a brilliant idea. These were the only parties I went to in college, were the ones with the creative themes. They're the only ones I really had fun going to. I wasn't a big drinker in college. We'll get to some of my other prudeness in a moment. And I was really excited that my friend Teal came up with this idea. And the first year, when Morgan was the raciest of us, and she had on like black briefs, bikini briefs, and painted her body gold and wore like a black fancy top on top. And then 2 years later, I think it was my senior year, some of the other people in my class hosted this party, and they were not my favorite people in that they vandalized stuff around town, and they drank a lot, and kind of thought that group of people that thought they were super cool because they drank a lot and messed with other people's belongings, which I didn't think was super cool. So I was a little bit irritated that they were hosting this party, and I didn't want to go. But then I started talking to my friends about either going, I had a big fuzzy dog at the time, so I talked about going with the thong on and having the thong in the back be normal, but then in the front putting like my dog's hair all along the sides of the thong just to kind of make it be hilarious. Or I talked about going commando. So, I wore a red sparkly, like sequined tank top on top, and I talked about going commando so much that I ended up doing it. Here's my reasoning. I still to this day have never had a one-night stand, right? So in college, a lot of my girlfriends were going to parties, getting drunk, and hooking up with, sleeping with strangers, essentially, that they never spoke to again. I've still to this day never done that once. I didn't do it ever in college. So Monday was this time to share your crazy stories from the weekend, of which I never had any. Never had any. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to this party, check my coat at the door, take off my coat, have nothing underneath. So I had the tank top came to like my hip bones, and then I just had my, pardon my language, just my bush. It was just me and my bush at the party. And it was so fantastic to watch these guys who were hosting the party just stare me right in the face. And there were lots of jokes like, wow, Becca, you really have balls. I mean, obviously you don't have balls, but wow, this was really ballsy. And I think it's a good entry point for Let It Be Awkward, because a lot of our worst fears, right, is that we're naked when everyone else has clothes on. So I did it on purpose. I had no pants on in the middle of a party where I was totally sober on purpose for this story that I'm now sharing with you. And it worked. It was a great plan, because I've told this story throughout my life since college, and it has been my story, right? Instead of I got drunk and slept with a stranger, is I went to a party with no pants on. And for the story of it. And it wasn't, because I embraced it, it wasn't awkward. So this has come into my adult life around each of us not being perfect. You're not perfect, I'm not perfect. And yet we are trying to present ourselves, especially in different situations, professional situations or new social situations or going on dates, that we really want to offer the best part of ourselves. And we all know that a lot of times, inside of wanting to offer the best part of ourselves, we mess up, right? It gets a little squirrely. So when I'm inside of that situation of it getting squirrely, and I feel my face get hot, and I feel like, oh my gosh, I want to run and hide, almost all the time now I remember, like, it's awkward, but you're gonna be fine, right? You can even just enjoy the sensation of this being so horribly awkward. It happens to me in class a lot. I'll make a joke, nobody laughs. So I'll kind of re-hit the joke to try to get people to laugh, and then no one laughs again. And I'm like, okay, got it. I have to keep teaching inside of, it being uncomfortable. And I think it's so powerful, especially around the guys, of how much we don't pursue things that are meaningful to us because we're afraid, because it might get awkward. Is that true for you guys? Right? We're like, oh, I'm not positive that I'm going to know how to do that fully, so I'm not going to try it because it might be weird, it might be awkward, it might get uncomfortable. So what? So that's my message to us today. Go to your proverbial party without pants on purpose, right? You create it that way on purpose, and then it's not so scary when it's awkward because you decided that that was how it was going to be. You can guarantee if you put yourself out there in the world, things are going to get a little squirrely. And if you let it be, if it's okay if things are a little bit awkward, or if someone thinks that you're weird, or if, you make a mistake, if you're anticipating that and you're ready to wade through it, it's really powerful. It's been a powerful lesson in my life. So that's my musing for you today. If you think it's funny that I went to a party without pants on, or there's people in your lives that you feel like, oh, they went through something awkward, and I'm here to say it's okay, right? It's okay when our lives get awkward. It happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us. Share this musing with your friends. Click the little share button. Share, watch my other musings. I have probably 100 other musings on lots of different topics. You can message me on Facebook if you have any questions or comments and share